Hello, cohorts. Hello, Dr. Chabot. It is a pleasure to share another week on the field of battle with all of you. My name's Dustin Stambaugh. The title of this presentation Is Collaboration Worth the Hassle? I hope you enjoy. I am really excited to discuss this topic because private sector collaboration is a decision that city governments have to make every day. And it's one of my primary jobs as a city manager, is to examine these types of decisions. So, according to our text, Collaborative Governance, Private Roles for Public Goals in Turbulent Times, written by John D. Donahue and Richard J. Zeckhauser, they present that there are usually three reasons why governments engage in private sector collaboration. The first one is productivity, the second one is information, and the third one is legitimacy. I can 100% back them up on this. Uh, Usually it involves does the government entity such as the city have the expertise to perform the task in-house? And a lot of times we do, but there are many situations where we don't. For example, productivity, it's much easier to hire someone else to do certain tasks like surveying, as opposed to having someone on staff in-house, because we just don't have enough instances to justify the cost of a surveyor, a full-time surveyor for the city. The second one is information. Where I've ran into this most often is engineering services, for example. A lot of smaller municipalities can't afford an engineering firm full time, so it's easier to outsource that per project than we can secure grant funding for it. The third one is legitimacy. To get expertise costs a lot of money because A, you got to pay for someone who has an education in the field that we need, like engineering or surveying or public administration. So it is I 100% agree with the authors of our text that this is vital, that those three considerations are huge influences in our decision-making process. One such example of collaboration between the public and the private entities is one that I'm currently involved with the City of Ellsworth, our engineering firm that we use a lot, Kirkham Michael, and the Kansas Department of Transportation. A drainage retention pond on the north end of town is right next to two Kansas highways as well as one of our parks. And so a 100-year flood event last year washed out a lot of the capacity of this drainage basin, and it needs to be rebuilt. I do not have the capacity currently in-house to do a large-scale project like that, so from a cost-effective perspective, as well as just not having the expertise to do it, it made much more sense for the city and city council to uh, branch out. So we reached a grant agreement between the Kansas Department of Transportation, the engineering firm, Kirkham Michael here in town, and the city of Ellsworth. Kansas Department of Transportation would pay 80% of project costs. The city of Ellsworth would cover 20% of the costs, and included in that cost is the cost of engineering the project, as well as paying a contractor to perform the work. And that three-way partnership is a great example of how public-private partnerships add value to the city because we need that retention pond, especially if our weather events are going to get much more interesting. So it's almost complete. I'm simply finishing the job, and I think it's a great example to illustrate a success story on what can happen when collaboration is done right. At the end of the day, it is my job as a city administrator to be a public steward of value on behalf of the citizens of Ellsworth. And City Council is relying on me to make sure that is being done. So I always have to conduct a cost benefit analysis for each decision that I make to ensure that whether it's a public-private partnership or we perform a job in-house, that the public is getting the best value for what they're investing in. Um, there is a lot of benefits to partnerships, such as a civic engagement from the business community. But at the end of the day, uh, I have to do what's best for the city and the citizens of the city. So it is always a balancing act. Thank you for watching my presentation. Have a great day.